So the Losar message that I would like to give, I don't think it's only for the Buddhist, but all for other students from different religions, whether they follow any particular religion or not. So I would like to give a message to everyone in this world, in this universe, that may there be peace, may there not be any war, may there not be any sickness and illness, because all of us have been suffering a lot for the last few years because of diseases, because of illness, and also because of wars. And this year we had a very big earthquake in Turkey, Syria, and lots of disasters in this world. So I would like to wish a very peaceful, harmonious to all the beings who are residing in this universe. So that is the main wish that I would like to convey to everyone who is watching this video. Normally in our tradition, we do Mahakala like every end of month or like end of year. So even in our daily life, we again do it in the late afternoon or early evening like that. And at the end of the month, we do on the 29th of Tibetan calendar. And the long one, we do it at the end of the year. So normally we do for 9 days in total. And since we are very near to Losar and we only have like 10 days left, and that is why we are doing the Mahakala here in all our monasteries, like here in Namobuddha, in Bodha, at our nunnery in Swayambhu, our monastery in Varanasi, and so many different monasteries, centers that is under the leadership of our Venerable Thrangu Rinpoche. And the main reason we do it like so close to Tibetan New Year is because when we are starting a new year, it is almost like we are starting a next chapter. That is why before starting a new year or before starting a new chapter, what we need to do is we need to remove away all the negativities that we already have from the past, and to have a very meaningful life in the next year. So that is why we are doing the Mahakala Puja before the Losar, so that we are able to remove away all our obstacles, all the disturbances, all the problems that we have, so that when we go into the next year, we will have a very peaceful, very nice, and very meaningful year in our next life. So these days, I think we kind of say like resolution. So even all the people in the West, and even these days, so many people from the East, whenever we have a new year, we see people making so many different kinds of new year resolution. So I think that is very similar to what we do. So we are trying to remove away whatever negative actions, negative emotions, negative thinking that we have. So we are trying to remember all these, and we are trying to remove this. And then when we have the Losar, or Lo means year, Sar means new, and which means new year. So we are starting very afresh, and we are starting to have a very peaceful, harmonious year in the next year. So that is why we do the Mahakala Puja right before Losar. So I have been appointed as like the representative for Thrangu Rinpoche, and the Rinpoche in his very long life, Rinpoche is 91 now, and in these 91 years, Rinpoche has done a lot of tremendous activities, tremendous work. He had established many monasteries, many schools, many clinics, hospitals, where we provide like free education, give free medication, and beside that we also have so many monks, so many nuns, and Rinpoche has been supporting all of these activities. And even though they are quite of like new students of Rinpoche and who are very close to me, and sometimes they want to like maybe build a monastery or a temple like in my name, but I don't think that is very advisable for me, because my main job or my main duty, from what I know, is to support whatever Rinpoche has already built. And the things or the monasteries, temples that he have already built, it is so many in numbers. And when you check our website, www.rinpoche.com, you will see all the activities of Rinpoche. And most of the people are very surprised to see all these activities, because as all of you already know, Rinpoche, after coming here in Nepal, it's only been like 35 years or maybe 40 years at the most. And within these 40 years, he had built so many monasteries, so many schools, so many clinics, and definitely to feed all the monks, all the nuns, all the students in the school, and pay for all the teachers at the school, all the workers at the school. It's very expensive. And that is why I personally think that my main, and not only main, but my only duty is to support whatever Rinpoche has already built. And I try my best so that all these activities that Rinpoche is doing, I try not to make all of these go into waste. And if possible, I would like to increase the number of monks, number of nuns, number of students. But other than that, there is not much aim for myself. So whatever I will be doing, whatever I am doing, so the only thing that I am doing and what I will be doing is to carry the lineage of Thrangu Rinpoche, and whatever he has built, I would like to just continue all these activities started by Rinpoche, and I will try not to like have any difficulties in all these activities which were done by Rinpoche. And he is still doing all these activities, and I would just like to continue with that.
I'm 70 years old. I live in Namobuddha. I like to stay here all my life because our Rinpoche give us anything what I want, meditations, schools. He is the founder of this monastery, and he give us to stay here, schools, meditation area, and many other subjects also. And my aim is be a good Lama and spread Buddha Dharma over the world. I want to go for meditation in future in Bumba to come. I like Buddha teachings, and he speak. Buddha teaches us how to stay good and health and stay peace in our life. So he's founder of Buddhism. Buddha means true enlightenment.
My name is Pasan Chibel. I will be a doctor in the future. I will help the people cure disease like COVID-19. There are many people, they don't have their money to pay in those diseases. I will also help them by checking just how much money they can give to me. Thank you.
And I've been a monk for almost the last 30 years. And I don't think I have been transformed a lot. And maybe even if I have transformed a little for better, then I think it's only because of the blessing of my gurus, especially my very venerable Khenchen Thrangu Rinpoche and late Khenpo Ngeden and Tuben Rinpoche. And if there's any changes that has been seen in my life from my previous time and now, if there's any good thing that you can see, then these are all because of the blessing of my great teachers. And if people don't see any changes in me for the better, then it is only because of my ignorance, my attachment, and my anger. And these three main gurus of my life has been of tremendous help in whatever I do. So anything that is transformed or anything that you might see in me is all because of the blessing of these three gurus that I was very fortunate to be able to see, able to meet, receive teachings. And whatever I am today is only because of the blessing of these three great masters that I was able to receive teachings from. These days, we do see so many people facing all this anxieties, depression, and all this. And again, during the pandemic, we did see lots of people facing all these problems. And obviously, there were lots of people also facing these problems before, but especially during the pandemic when everything was closed down, when everything was shut down, we did see a lot of these cases. And I think this is because we are all social beings and we need to be socializing with our friends, with our families. And I think that is one of the reason for us when we see people facing all these anxieties. And not only that, but also because most of the people are not living in the moment. Everybody is thinking about a lot about their future, and we are not so sure how long we are going to live in this world. But we are making plans for too many years. And because of that, we are making plans, we are thinking about it, even if we have a decent amount of wealth, a decent house, a decent car, but still we want to have a bigger house, a bigger car, better car, and all this stuff. And because of that, we are not able to be content with whatever we have. So even though we have quite enough, but still we want to make more and more. Our dream is normally too big for some people. And because of that, we are always thinking about having more and more. And even though we have all the needs, but still we have so many things that we want. And because of that, always thinking about it, always wanting so many new things, wanting new job, wanting better pay, wanting better house. And because of that, and if we are able to get that, then that is very helpful. But if we are not able to get that, I think we should be content with what we have for now. And normally when we are not content and when we are always trying to get what we want, and when we are not able to succeed in that, then normally I think people kind of get depressed, anxiety, and all these problems. So the first thing, I think it is very important to know that to be content, and that is the biggest wealth. And that is why normally when people come here in Nepal, they see lots of people who are very happy. And this is because I think the people here, most of the people here are quite content with what they have. And especially people who come from developed nations like US, Canada, Hong Kong, when they come here, they are very surprised to see Nepalese people being very happy almost all the time. And even though here we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the houses like in the developed countries, we don't have the salaries like in the developed countries, but still people here, when we see them very happy. And I think the biggest wealth is contentment. And because of that, most of the people here are very happy. And I think if we are able to practice contentment, then we will have less anxiety, less depression, and less mental problems, I guess.